All right, guys, today we're going to answer the question, why commit to one buyer's agent?
You better get fired up.
All right, whether you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, feel free to go over and put some comments, questions down in the comments section. We'd be more than happy to answer them before we get done here. But I want to start by saying happy birthday, Lissette. It's Lisette's birthday today.
Thank you.
How's your day going, bud?
Awesome. It's Monday, so busy, but it's going great.
But you celebrated over the weekend. You had a good weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm still recovering. It was great. It was I'm feeling the 39 years now. But yeah, it was a great weekend.
That's good. Yeah, you got a good husband. He took care of you, man. That's
he was awesome. Yeah.
So today we're talking about why would I want to be committed to one buyer's agent, right? A lot of people will, at least in the beginning, they'll start calling around to different listings that they're interested in. They'll ask questions, and if it doesn't fit what they want, they'll go look at another listing, right, without that agent. And personally, I find it really interesting that when you go to sell your home, a lot of people are going to interview 2-3 agents, and they're going to do a lot of research, and they're going to look at your Google reviews, and they want to know about your marketing and how many homes have you sold, and this is a big deal. And then they hire somebody. But on the buy side, for whatever reason, even though the same value is there, you still want somebody who can negotiate, who can get you a good deal, who knows what to look for, who has access to off-market properties, all these different things. For some reason, we don't place that same value on there. So I want to open it up to you, Lissette. Give me a reason or two why a buyer would want to commit to a buyer's agent, to one buyer's agent.
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is just building that relationship. You want to make sure that you have a really good relationship with this buyer representative that you're going to have on your team. They're the one that's going to come up to bat for you, do negotiations, provide solutions for you. So you want to make sure you have the best relationship possible. That's difficult sometimes to develop if you're working with 4 or 5, 3 different people at a time. And they are also putting a lot of work and a lot of time into you. So you just want to also be respectful of their time and not be honest with them up front if you are working with someone. Or you never know, maybe you went out to go see a property with one buyer agent, another agent's already thinking of showing you that property. There's a conflict right there. So I think it just eliminates, if you're working with one person, you want to make sure you have that relationship, that confidence in them, and that communication.
Yeah, I also think, why work with number 2, 3, 4 if number 1 is the best? Right? Why would you work with somebody who's second best if you can pick the best? And going back to your building that relationship, it's not just building a relationship. That's very important, right? For the trust and the confidence and everything else. But once we build a relationship, I'm going to understand why you're buying. I'm going to understand what price point you're at. What are kind of the hot spots, the 2, 3, 4, 5 things that you really have to have in that home, whether it's location or a certain amount of bedrooms, or listen, Joe, it's got to face the east for whatever reason, right? Whatever it is, I'm going to start to understand those things, and it's going to help me whittle down my search criteria to find you the best home. If I just talk to you once and then you leave, I've literally added no value to you that going to Zillow can't add to you, right? I'm doing the same thing, and any value that I do have as an individual, unique agent, you're not going to get that value. So I really like that you brought up relationships first. Is there anything else that kind of pops out in wanting to use one single agent?
You want to make sure you have the best person on your team. So, if you got to interview people, that's great. But once you make the decision to go with someone that really knows the market and understands what you're looking for, stick with that person. Why not have the best instead of have just maybe 2 mediocre agents on working for you? So choose the best agent out there, and they're going to fight for you and represent you till the end.
Yep. So I like that you bring up the word represent you, because representation is a big deal too. If we haven't sat down, had a discussion, and signed an agreement, and that agreement goes both ways. I think a lot of people think if I sign an agreement, I'm stuck to something with this agent, right? I'll tell you, if you sign an agreement and you're stuck with an agent, I don't know a broker in the world who wouldn't let you out of that agreement if that agent isn't performing the duties they're supposed to perform. It says right at the bottom of page 1, all the fiduciary duties they owe you. They've got to show you homes. They've got to help you with the numbers. They got to introduce you to vendors. And it's all got to be in a timely manner. If they're not doing that, you have reason to get out of that agreement. You can go find somebody else, right? But having that representation really sets you up for success And again, going back to that strategy, I've had so many people say, I'm trying to think of an example here. Maybe you need a home at a certain price point. Well, what if I have homes that are off market that I can show you that hit that price point? And now I'm willing to share them with you because we've talked a little bit more. We've built a relationship up. And so now I'm going to share those with you. If you don't build a relationship with anybody, that might not come out in that discussion. So I think that's a great point too. What do you think of that, Lissette?
Oh no, definitely. We all have our weaknesses and our strengths that we all carry and try to, represent our buyers in the best possible way that we can. And I know if I have a listing that, maybe my seller doesn't want to put on the market and I'm already have buyers in mind.
Yep.
Well, I know that you are my buyer and I want to offer you the most as possible. I'm going to represent this property to you and see if this is something you're interested in.
Yes.
If there's someone off the street that's just talking to me, but I know they're working with another agent, I might not tell them about that listing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really important to have that relationship with your agent.
Now, here's the last thing I'd say, and I'm going to put agents into two different camps, right? You've got agents who maybe close 2, 3, 4 deals a year, and you've got agents who close, let's say 20 plus deals a year, right? A little more experienced. If you're talking to a 20 plus closing agent, that agent's pretty busy. They've got a couple buyers. They might have a couple listings. Their day is planned out, like they're busy. So when you call them and you want to commit to a relationship, they're all in. They've got systems. They got ways to help you. They got value, everything else. But if you're not willing to commit to them and you say, listen, if you've got something that I buy, I'll work with you. But if not, I'm going to work with whatever agent brings me the deal. I hear that all the time, right? Finding the deal is not the tough part of real estate. It's easy. We've all got access to the MLS. We've got access to the same websites. That's not the challenging part, right? The negotiation, being able to get a good deal that fits what you want. That's the challenging part. So if I hear from you, if you find me the deal, I'll work with you. If not, I'm open to working with anybody. As a busy agent, I have too many people that I already have made commitments to commit time to you. So think about the agent you're attracting when you say that. The person who eventually says, yes, I'll pour my time and efforts into you, knowing that you're not committing to me, is the agent who's likely doing 2, 3, 4 deals a year. How good of a negotiator, how intelligent, how experienced, how well-versed in everything that's involved in a transaction do you think that agent's going to be versus the agent that's probably not going to work with you unless they've got a commitment? So now you're having a lesser experience in real estate because of the way that you're presenting yourself, right? Lissette, any last thoughts before we take off? I got to give it to the birthday girl to finish this out
here. Well, yeah, I couldn't agree more. When I take a buyer under my wing, and I know they're committed to me, automatically you get on my list of my buyers that I'm working at. I'm always keeping an eye out for properties for and making sure I communicate with you regularly. If you come and tell me, well, yeah, bring me the deal and whoever brings it to me, I'll get it done. You don't even make it on the list. Because I don't feel like I have that. You have the confidence in me to commit to me. Yep. We don't have that bond. And I do rather just give 100% to the buyers that do commit to me.
Yes.
So yeah, if it's something, if you don't feel comfortable with someone, just tell them. But I would urge you just to find someone that you really have great communication with, that you have a bond with, and stick with them throughout the process unless they don't follow through.
Yep. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate it. If you got any questions or comments, like I said, go put them down in the remarks. And if you are friends with Lissette on Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, go put a happy birthday on her page, man. Happy birthday, bud.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, guys.